You guys, this game was a very hard-fought, tense battle against an inspired Heidenheim team that, in my opinion, they played a game today where they wanted to essentially apologize to their fans for their disappointing 5-2 defeat against Dortmund this weekend, where they actually took the lead by 2 goals before absolutely capitulating. Now, I know Heidenheim from last season. They had a bit of like a fairy tale debut season back in the Bundesliga, and I saw them beat Bayern Munich 3-2 in the second half of the season, and it told me instantly tonight this will be an opposition that isn't afraid to play against the big teams, that doesn't play with fear. And in the end, it was a combination of some inspired team moves, great finishing, as well as the fact that we were incredibly disciplined with our defensive line. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that, but one of the best parts of our game today was how we constantly played Heidenheim offside throughout the game. They couldn't do the same thing to us on the other end. The amount of 1v1 goalkeeper opportunities that we made in this game today, I've never seen this many chances created where players were 1v1 against the opposition goalkeeper. Yes, it was disappointing that we couldn't take full advantage of these moments, because if we had better form, or maybe some of the A-team guys in the team, I think tonight you're looking at maybe a 4-0, potentially 5-0 win. But regardless, credit to Heidenheim. I have to show them respect for the game they played, because they didn't come to be whipping boys, and it made for an enjoyable game. Listen, none of us are that impressed to be in the Conference League. We're all expecting to easily win this tournament. I don't care how arrogant I sound. That is the barest minimum. And when we win this tournament this season, we must score a ridiculous amount of goals. I feel Nkunku could even get maybe 20 goals for the season just from scoring goals in the Conference League. So, you know what? I don't think we'll have as many tough tests as Heidenheim, but it's a reminder that this team, even though we're seeing our B team, they still have it in them. We still have enough quality to see it through, in my opinion. And listen, at least we see some entertaining games. At least we're seeing a lot of goals scored. At least we're seeing the B team players given the opportunity to, find their way in Maresca's system, understand each other's game. And after every game they play in the Conference League, I feel like their understanding grows that bit stronger. And listen, as we get to the second half of the season in the Premier League and domestic cup competitions, it's going to be a blessing to have all these squad players and B team players, I hope I don't sound disrespectful, coming into the first team fold and adding something instantly, not diminishing the quality. I think that is a really good way of squad management from Enzo Maresca, and that's going to help us out in the long term. It's just how I see things going. But today, we can thank goals from Mudryk. Excellent finish to finally bag that second goal, because it was a long time coming, especially in that second half, as Nkunku finally broke the deadlock in the second half. And both goals came from great combination plays involving Jadon Sancho. Now, for me, I found it quite funny that essentially we use our Bundesliga players against Bundesliga opposition. You're looking at Vega, Sancho, Nkunku. And I guess it's no surprise that all of them played pivotal parts in helping us secure the win today against Heidenheim. I'm looking at the second goal in particular. I really love that team move. Credit goes out to Renato Vega, where, listen, I think Vega has great potential. He's got all the raw attributes, and I think as he grows over the next maybe 2.5 seasons, we're going to see this guy stamp his authority even more when he's fully confident. So let's be patient with him. But he deserves credit for that nice little third-man run he made on the right wing, which essentially gave the freedom for Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall and Jadon Sancho to play that 1-2 into space. Great play by Sancho to play the cutback cross, back into the box. An excellent finish from Mudryk. I mean, that finish deserves a lot of credit because the ball was coming from behind him. And I've seen Mudryk absolutely sky these shots outside the stadium. So the fact that he kept his concentration, used the right shooting technique, and then placed that top right bins, that was an excellent goal to seal the game against a very, rugged, fearless opposition tonight in Heidenheim. So a lot of credit goes to those guys. And, the first goal we scored in Nkunku kind of came in a similar fashion as well. More creativity coming from that right-hand side. I wonder, could you see Sancho potentially maybe getting more minutes down the right. I think, listen, realistically, he'll play on the left, he'll play on the right equally as the season goes, right? But it's nice to see that Sancho's coming on and offering something. Injuries haven't been working in his favor recently. That's the real reason why he's been out the team. He hasn't been out the team because he's lost his place and he's not good enough. Illness and injuries has just been a bit of a slow period for him personally. But the Conference League is the tournament for us this season, which allows players to find their confidence again in a competitive environment where the quality of opposition isn't as high. So I feel like, in a sense, this could be like the preseason moments for players to come back and find their form regardless of what's happening. Now, of course, things weren't necessarily always perfect. I have to say, a bit annoying that Cassidy gets a red card near the end. Listen, it'll be an opportunity for someone else. I'm sure we'll see Vega, and I'm sure we'll see Keenan Dusipor in the pivot together against Shamrock Rovers at home. That's going to be another interesting game, and I'm going to let you guys know I'm actually going to be at that game. So you might spot me. Somehow, I've been offered hospitality tickets for the Shamrock Rovers game. I don't normally get these things very often. I've been running the channel for years. So, yeah, shout out to BT Sport again. I mean, TNT Sport. Oops. TNT Sport for hooking the boy up again. So make sure you guys catch me at the bridge on the 19th of December. But to go on with this game, whoa, the amount of chances that were created from both teams, I have to say, but most notably from us, was kind of nuts in a sense. And you can argue the finishing was quite poor. It wasn't helpful. You're looking at maybe Crystal Nkunku. Yes, he scored a goal today. He had some decisive moments to potentially, on a good day, even get a hat-trick, another one in this competition. I thought the first effort, with a little chipped effort, it kind of brought me back to his Bundesliga spell with Leipzig, where that was the type of finish that was paying off for him time and time again. But he has that quality to bury chances like that. And it's a shame that maybe if, he was playing regularly in the Premier League, that little confidence booster could have helped him in that moment. But, Nkunku knows his quality. He's fearless. There was one little excellent solo dribble he went on when Nkunku turns on the gears. That close control, it's just like the ball is stuck to his feet, and it always constantly surprises me, even though it shouldn't, because sometimes he doesn't play lethargically, but it's like he knows how to turn on the pace at the moments he has to do it, but he won't ever force it, if you know what I mean. He'll only do it when he absolutely has to. But I was hoping he would score a goal from that, and I'm hoping that if he gets another opportunity like this in the tournament, that he is able to bag a goal after incredible solo play. But, he had more opportunities to affect the game with his ability to be 1v1 against the goalkeeper. That one move in particular, where we were suffering the pressure against Heidenheim, super swift team counter-attack, second half, excellent pass played in behind by Joao Felix. He didn't even have to look at Nkunku. He just played it into the area. Excellent technique, excellent team move. And you're thinking to yourself, I want to score the goals like that, where everyone in the team play their part to make that moment come. But great defending in the end from Heidenheim to deny that. But even though he could have scored more goals, I was still impressed by Nkunku's performance. And I'm still hoping, fingers crossed, that he finds himself getting more minutes in the Prem. Sadly, if you were to ask me right now, I kind of think this is Christo's last season here, purely based on the fact that, number one, he's not getting the minutes he needs, and number two, we could earn an absolute fortune from his sale, because there's many clubs around that are going to be very happy to have someone of his quality in their team. I'm hoping that things change from as the season goes on, because as I keep saying, if this guy wasn't injured last season, a lot of us are looking at Nkunku in completely different light, and I think he is the difference maker that helps us to secure CL football last season. So hopefully Nkunku can get the opportunities now in the Prem, because I still think he's our best finisher, even though he was a bit inconsistent tonight. But again, before I continue on, my friends, with ending things, I have to give shout outs to other players too. I think JORGENSEN, maybe you can argue this guy was man of the match today, because he made two incredible saves from Bayern Munich loanee Paul Vanner, the Austrian kid. One in the first half, where Vanner skips past the Sassy, who was kind of made to look like a statue. But you know what? I think it's great play by Vanner or Weiner. I don't know how to pronounce the name. But listen, if the Sassy sticks his leg out, he gives away like a certain penalty. So he made the right decision, even though he kind of looks a bit foolish because of how it looks like on TV, right? But wow, Jorgensen makes himself big, just like Ultra Instinct reaction to put his hand out to deny him. And that was a key save. And he then goes on to make another key decisive save at the optimum time. The top goalkeepers, they're like your cheat code in a sense. They're your like last line of defense where, the great keepers make their name in moments like this. Now, I'm not going to gas Jorgensen right now. All I'm saying is that when you see small little signs like this, it makes you think, okay, I'm going to pay more attention to you. Let's see what you do. I think for Jorgensen this season to get cup games and the Conference League, that's going to be a great way for him to introduce himself to life at a higher level at this football club and really just work and fine-tune his skill and his ability. And you know what? If he can be the best keeper in the Conference League, which currently he is easily looking like he is, that's going to do wonders for his career in the future. Because that second save he made as well, I mean, again, excellent save, point blank range. And he kept the team in the game. So credit goes out to him. And you think to yourself, Robert Sanchez, if you keep continuing with your Jekyll and Hyde performances and your inconsistencies, there's a keeper now on Jorgensen who might be ready. And let's not forget the keepers that we have everywhere. Mike Penders, for God's sake. Slanina, who's currently injured. You're looking at Petrovic, but as I said, him going to Strasbourg can allow him to work on his passing ability and playing out from the back. And that is one thing he has most definitely improved upon during his time at Strasbourg. So Sanchez, sleep with both eyes open because you got people plotting behind the scenes to take your spot. But yeah, you guys, the performance today, I'll take it. I think 2-0 is a fair result. If the finishing was better, I'm looking at Dewsbury Hall. I'm looking at Gu, who had 4 shots in 5 minutes without scoring. You're looking at, Sancho's set pieces as well, guys not connecting properly with the headers. On a different day, this could have been 3, 4, 5. So the fact that we're leaving with a clean sheet and a 2-0 win and keep our 100% record in this competition, I think that is something to work with and that is something to build from. So my friends, you share your thoughts and opinions. How did you find the game today? Who are your top performers? Let us know below. And on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you all very soon. Cool.